Our next story is about Rishi Sunak, the new Prime Minister of Britain, barely a week in office, and he stoked his first big controversy. It concerns the climate, something that Sunak isn't concerned about. I'm not saying this, his critics are. They say Sunak is washing his hands off leadership on climate action. Why? Because he's not attending the COP27 climate summit. It is scheduled to be held in Egypt next month, and Sunak had said that he's not going. That's earlier. So why is that? Due to some pressing commitments. That's what 10D had said in its statement. Allow me to quote. The Prime Minister is focused on pressing domestic issues, most significantly preparing for the autumn statement. So any attendance at COP would depend on progress, on preparation for that fiscal event, and that work is ongoing. So how pressing are these domestic issues? In one word, quiet. Remember, he has inherited a stagnant economy, thanks to his predecessor Liz Truss. Her tax plan has crippled the UK's coffers. It has sent the pound plunging to new lows and amplified the possibility of a recession. Sunak was elected to clear this mess, so he wants to focus on the task at hand. For him, meeting world leaders at a climate summit is not the priority. His country's economy definitely is. That's the message he's trying to send out. Unfortunately, the message has not gone down too well, especially with the host country, Egypt. It has expressed disappointment at Sunak's decision and has asked King Charles to come in his place, who, by the way, is not going. Egypt is not alone in expressing disappointment. There are several others. Like the UK's Labour Party, its leader Keir Starmer has called Sunak's decision an absolute failure of climate leadership. He says if he was the Prime Minister, he would definitely go, no matter what. Mohammed Nasheed, the Maldives' former president and Speaker of Parliament, says it's very worrying that the UK thought there was anything more serious than climate change. You can count the pennies, but might lose the pounds. There's more. Alok Sharma, the outgoing COP26 president, has also slammed Sunak's decision. I'm quoting again. I'm disappointed that the Prime Minister is not going. I understand that he's got a huge entry of domestic issues that he has to deal with. But going to COP27 would allow for engagement with other world leaders. If you look at what happened in the Australian elections this summer, one of the reasons that the Conservatives didn't win is because people didn't feel they took the issue seriously enough. This criticism hasn't gone unnoticed. Sunak himself has responded. He says he's committed to the climate, but has to focus on the economy first. Allow me to quote, "The leadership that we have shown on the climate is unmatched almost along the world. If you look at what we've done in this country, we're an example for others to follow at the pace in which we've reduced climate emissions. I just think at the moment it's right that I'm also focusing on the pressing domestic challenges that we have with the economy." Once again, he says the UK economy is his priority. Immediately after this statement, 10 Downing too came up with a response. It said that Sunak's decision to attend the summit is now under review, meaning there's still a chance that he could go to Egypt. It all depends on whether he manages to get time from his commitments. Now here's the thing, Sunak's claim that he cannot go to the summit due to professional commitments is hard to buy. A one-day stopover in Egypt won't really affect his plans. So the criticism he's facing is not really unwarranted, especially given the fact that the UK was a host for last year's climate summit. So a British leader shunning the summit is quite embarrassing. At the same time, the fact that he has buckled under pressure and has put his decision under review doesn't help his political image. As far as optics are concerned, my point is simple. Sunak needs to make up his mind. Either he's in or he's not. But backtracking on this decision, that too when he has just come to power, doesn't really send the right message. Especially to his conservative voter base, which is already fed up with irresolute leaders. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.